The Pharisee stood and prayed, saying, God, I thank you that I am not like other men, extortioners, unjust, or even like this tax collector.
But the tax collector stood at a distance. He would not even look up to heaven, but beat his breast and said, God, have mercy on me, a sinner. God, I thank you that I am not like other people, robbers, evildoers, adulterers, or even like this tax collector. God, have mercy on me, a sinner.
Welcome to the Bible Pill channel. Today, we are diving into a powerful story told by Jesus. One that completely flips our ideas of status, pride, and what it truly means to be right with God. It's the parable of the Pharisee and the tax collector, found in Luke 18:9-14. Let's listen to the scripture and look at what Jesus is really teaching us today. To some who were confident of their own righteousness and looked down on everyone else, Jesus told this parable. Two men went up to the temple to pray, one a Pharisee and the other a tax collector. The Pharisee stood by himself and prayed, God, I thank you that I am not like other people, robbers, evildoers, adulterers, or even like this tax collector. I fast twice a week and give a tenth of all I get. But the tax collector stood at a distance. He would not even look up to heaven, but beat his breast and said, God, have mercy on me, a sinner. I tell you that this man, rather than the other, went home justified before God. For all those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. Jesus threw a massive curveball to his audience with this story. To understand why, you have to look at the two characters. The Pharisee in that society. Pharisees were the epitome of religious perfection. They kept every law, but this man's prayer wasn't actually about God. It was a resume of his own achievements. He used God as a sounding board to brag and look down on others. Tax collectors were deeply despised, often viewed as traitors and thieves. Yet, this man recognized his own brokenness. He didn't point fingers at anyone else. He simply cried out for mercy. Jesus is teaching that spiritual pride builds a wall between us and God, while genuine humility opens the door to His grace. Our standing with God isn't earned by comparing our good deeds to someone else's flaws. True righteousness isn't a performance to prove we are better than others. It begins with an honest, humble heart that recognizes its own need for mercy. This story reminds us that God isn't looking for a polished religious performance or a checklist of how much better we think we are than the person next to us. He is looking for an honest heart. When we trade comparison for humility, that is exactly where real transformation begins. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. If this episode brought value to your journey, please take a quick